is the system that I so-called develop myself after all this trial and errors, after getting my hands dirty and putting into practice, So I call this a FATS process. Now, of course, in today's context, if you talk anything in the normal context, if you talk about FATS, may not sound very positive, but I would like to think of this way. I don't mind having a lot of fats in the wallet. I suspect you probably don't mind too if your wallet has a lot of fats. Okay, of course the fats must be looked at in monetary terms, not in terms of a waistline terms. Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about fats in terms of from a financial perspective. I don't mind having fats in my wallets. I don't mind having a lot of fats in your trading account or your investment account, right? So what does FAT stand for? F for fundamental. Now I think you'll be inclined to think it's about fundamental analysis. No, it is fundamentally understanding what kind of investor you are, what's your own risk profile. That means understanding yourself. That's important. When you understand yourself, when you know yourself, then you can manage yourself. At least theoretically, you can know that there are certain areas that are no-go, there are certain risks that you shouldn't take, there's certain things that you should do, and so on. After knowing yourself, after working on yourself, understanding yourself, you progress to A, the A. A, this is where you analyze potential stocks or ETFs or instruments that are suitable to your financial profile, to your own risk appetite. Okay, so if you are, so this is something, this is in the realms of fundamental analysis already. So that's for A. And then moving on to the T part, which is using technical analysis or TA to assess at what price point do you enter, at what price point do you exit, and what is the option price that you should actually sell an option on, enter into an option contract, and so on. So that's where the TA comes in to help you with the price action. And finally, the last mile, which is the topic of today's webinar, is about options investing. What is the right option strategy, or option strat for short, okay, to enter the trade that will help you to achieve a winning outcome. Okay, so we're talking about using the right option strategy. Is it selling puts, or is it a buying call, or is it using some other option strat? Okay, so I will show the example of what are the option strats that I use to achieve my own option investing outcome. Okay, so let me just delve a little more deeper into this FATS, this FATS system that I created for myself. So fundamental is about working on yourself, understanding who you are, what kind of investor you are, what do you like, what are you interested in, what do you believe in. So if I use myself as an example, I like the technology sector a lot, and within the big technology sector, I tend to focus very much on the electric vehicle sector. Okay, because I think this is the future. So, and the beauty about EVs is that I don't need to just focus on Tesla, just this one company alone. There are a lot of what you call ancillary or associated plays with respect to EVs or electric vehicle technology. You can actually look at batteries, because electric vehicles will rely very much on batteries, right? So you can also look at battery stocks. Okay, so the scope is almost limited. The scope is very wide. The possibilities are enormous. But the key point is this: it is about knowing what kind of investor you are, knowing your risk appetite. What do you believe in? What do you like to invest in? What are you comfortable to invest in? So if you look at all this brand, all these logos, the example I'm trying to show here is that if as an example, if you're already working, your day job is if you're already working on, let's say, one of the 3 banks, then by extension of your day job, you're already predisposed to the happenings, the in and out of what's happening in the financial sector, right? So you'll be quite familiar, or you're quite willing to invest in the, let's say, the old economy financial stocks like your Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, or You may look at, let's say, the fintech type of stocks, like your Square, your PayPal, or even those payment processors like your Visa, MasterCard. So the whole gist, the whole point of this is when you work on yourself, you know what's a circle of competence means. This is a term coined by Warren Buffett, by the way, in case you're not aware. Okay, so Warren Buffett emphasizes a lot about a circle of competence, focusing on a circle of competence, meaning that you know where you're good at or what you're interested in. When you're good at something, you don't mind, you have no problem investing the time and effort to deepen your knowledge, to grow and become even better in terms of knowing the topic at hand, or reading up on the topic at hand. So when you do that, when you have a circle of competency, you basically don't anyhow guess. Okay, one thing about stocks is that in theory, you can just cover your eyes anyhow, just point a finger, okay, I'm going to buy this stock. Options, you cannot do that. Okay, you get yourself into trouble. So when you develop a certain circle of, when you have a COC, a circle of competence, you don't anyhow guess, you take out the guesswork, and you become even better because your knowledge, your expertise, and you develop a certain feel about a certain particular sector of your interest. And even if nothing works for you, you can always still, let's say, invest in the ETF or the index of that one sector you kind of like. Okay, so that's where a COC, a circle of competence, will help you. And then moving on to, once you know what kind of investor you are, you can employ fundamental analysis metrics to help you decipher and sieve out companies, fundamentally good or strong companies, using, let's say, certain parameters like, okay, you want to look for companies that are profitable and showing strong profit, are able to deliver strong grow the profits consistently, companies that are able to demonstrate that they are able to deploy the capital to good use and use the capital efficiently, companies that are not highly geared, because you don't want to invest in companies that have very high levels of debt, and then what happens is every dollar they earn, a big portion of it goes towards servicing the interest obligation. You want companies that have pricing power. So in this kind of inflationary environment, if the company is forced to raise price, their customers will not jump ship and migrate to their competitors. You want companies to have strong cash positions, so that if you invest in this kind of company, there's a chance that they will pay you good dividends, or they have the kind of war chest to be able to acquire other companies that will position them for longer term growth, right? So that's where the FA comes in. Okay, so these are some of the key criteria that I use to analyze stocks that actually are suitable based on my profile. And then once you have identified those stocks, that's where TA comes in. Your step 3 comes in to help you to determine, is this stock that you're interested in, has it become cheap or is it very expensive? That's where TA will be used. You can use TA even for someone who is new to the world of technical analysis. Not to worry. Okay, this program will actually teach you in enough of the basics to get you moving, to get you started. So it's not going to make you an expert, but it is good enough for you to be able to at least start somewhere, and to be able to know, hey, what is the support, what's the resistance, meaning what's the price floor, what's the price ceiling, at what price can you enter, at what price should you exit, what is the price that allows you to sell an option contract, right? So that's where the TA comes in. And the last mile of it all is to complete the whole loop is the strategy part, the right kind of option strat to execute the trade and to achieve the kind of financial result that you are looking for. So if you are let's say, if you are someone who wants to, let's say, eventually own a particular company stock, let's just say you want eventually to own, let's say, Apple, and you can actually use a buy call strat, which is like the option equivalent of buy low and sell high. Okay, so folks, just give me a minute. Let me just tell my son to do. Okay, sorry for this. Okay, so there are three predominant strats that I use in my option investing. A buy call, which Emin has already demonstrated earlier on using the payoff table. A buy call is like the option equivalent of buy low today and sell high at some point in time in the future. All right. So this is a bullish strat that is a directional play. That means you're betting on a stock that, especially if it's a good quality stock, okay, it's a fundamentally good stock, you can actually expect the stock in the future to actually rise in terms of price. So take an example, Apple. Okay, so if you give Apple enough time, sufficient runway in terms of time, Apple today is 170. Who's to say that Apple cannot reach $200-300 in 1 or 2 years time? Correct. So that's where the buy call, if that's one of the long-term bullish strats that I use, or I can use a sell put as to generate income stream. This is in fact the very dominant strat that I use, and in addition, I also use a more what you call a more advanced strat called bull put spread or vertical credit spread, where I do a buy and sell together. There's a certain reason to it. Because of this, there's a certain protection that a buy put offers to protect my trade. Okay, so these are the three option strat. Let me just use some trades that I've done in the past to explain. All right, so back in 21st of June, for this company, for this stock called Citigroup, okay, what I did was, this is the sell put strat. What I did was, this is basically the what do you call the statement to the line item. So shows here that for the Citigroup, which I sold 3 contracts option on that expires on 2nd of July, for the contract price of $70, and I earned a premium of 126. Okay, of course, this is one of the many option in trades that I did. So let me just explain it in more detail. On 21st of June, I sold 3 contracts of Citigroup sell puts. Okay, so this is a weekly contract. So it expired about 2 weeks later. So it expired 2 weeks later, and at a point in time, which is 21st of June, when I sold this, I collected a premium of $126 upfront. Now, the premise of this is that I'm betting that come 3rd of July, Citigroup share price will close above $70. Okay, so, and what actually happened was on the 2nd of July, which is the expiration day for this put contract, Citigroup share price did close above $70. Okay, so it closed at $70.41, which is higher than the strike. My strike was $70, meaning to say I betted that I believe that Citigroup share price will not drop below $70. So this put contract was done on a premise that the Citigroup is going to be bullish, and I betted that Citigroup will be above $70. So the 3 contracts that I sold, and which I collected a total premium of $126 on 2 weeks ago, on 21st of June, became a cash flow that is confirmed, double confirmed, triple confirmed, permanently mine, which I will then use to reinvest and to repeat the whole process of generating even more cash flow in the coming weeks and months. All right, so that is in essence what a sell put option what a sell put option can do for investors. If you okay, so how did I arrive at the $70? Now we know that the step one of the FAST process is that you know what kind of investor you are, what kind of stocks you like. Okay, and I do like technology, I like EV, I also like Citigroup, financial stocks like Citigroup, this kind of big stable companies. So and then of course I've done my FA, the analysis part. I've done my FA to determine that yes, it is an investable stock. I can invest in the stock. I can also do options on the stock. Then comes the TA part. What is the right option? What is the right strike price or contract price or strike price to enter for TA? So based on the TA, I determine that the price floor is at 66. So ideally, I should be selling at 66, 67. Okay, but I was willing to take a bit more risk in order to generate a bit more premium. So I chose a $70 strike, and true enough, it didn't disappoint me. It worked in my favor. The trade turned out well for me, and I was able to earn the $126 premium in full. And of course, this is just one of the many trades that I did for using sell puts. Okay, so that folks is the first example of the basic option strat of selling put and how it can actually work for investors, whether you're doing full-time or doing on a part-time basis. Now, the second strat is this strat called buying lead calls, buying long calls, buying a call that is like maybe months or even up to 2-3 years ahead. Okay, so the stock in concern is this stock, Apple, right? So on 22nd of December, what happened was, for this contract, a buy call contract, I entered into one contract that requires me to pay $4,850 to have the right to buy Apple shares at $95 on or before 20th of January 2023. Now, this is the price I paid, $4,850 times 100 shares, so $4,850. Now, so come 20th of Jan 2023, if Apple share price, of course, then Apple share price rose and kept on rising, right? 146 was like sometime in mid of 2021. And of course, last month it dropped to 150 plus, but now it's rebounded to 170 plus per share. So if you were to buy 100 shares, if you were to invest in Apple, right? You buy 100 shares of Apple, you are talking about putting down 17,000 US dollars. Okay, so you're basically tying up your capital. Okay, whereas I choose not to do that. I choose to buy an option so that I free up my capital. I use a smaller portion of my capital to invest in this call option, and then I can use the rest of my capital to, instead of tying up 17,000, I can use the rest to invest in other options and make money for me. So what happened was, when Apple share price kept rising, the option price also keeps on rising, meaning to say that I was already sitting on a profit of about 15%. Okay, so because I paid $48.50, now if I were to close this trade, I can sell it back to the market at $55.42. Meaning to say that I am actually sitting of course, this is an example that's already passed. This is an old example. If you allow me, let me just toggle to my, maybe I'll let me just, okay, later if there's enough time, I will show the trading platform and to demonstrate to you, to let you see how much paper profit actually I'm already able to enjoy. Or let's say if I were to choose to close the trade today, or when the market opens, or close the trade tomorrow, I'm actually in a position to make already more than the 692. So the ROI is actually more than 14% already. So as of today, I'm sitting on a very attractive profit proposition. So this is what a buy call actually allows options investors to do. You pay a sum of money called option premium to have the right to buy the stock at the agreed upon contract price. And if it is a good quality stock, you are likely to see the stock price appreciate. And when the stock price appreciate, you can actually sell back the option and realize a capital gain and realize a profit, or you can actually exercise it and own the share at a much lower price. So just imagine if I chosen to exercise it, even when the stock price is $150, for instance, I have the right to buy the Apple shares at $95, and then, as what Emin said in his example earlier, I sell it in the open market, okay? Or if I don't want to sell it, I hold it for posterity, maybe to bequeath it to my children next time, so that they potentially can own Apple shares at a very low, that was actually bought at a very low price. Okay, so this is strategy number 2, buying call, which is the option equivalent of buying low today and selling high at some point in time later. So also TA comes into play. Firstly, you have to analyze based on the FA. Even if you don't analyze FA, fundamentally Apple is a good stock, right? Because it has got pricing power, it's got a very loyal fan base. It is constantly innovating and pushing out new products, and constantly also giving the market a proposition to keep on investing in this stock. So, and of course, I basically use TA to confirm what is a good price to enter. So of course, these are the support, meaning to say these are the price floor, but I've chosen, in fact, enter at an even lower price, which is at using a call option that is at $95. That gives me the right to buy at $95 in the future. All right, so that's how a call option could work for you. Now comes to, and the final predominant strat that I use, that is the vertical credit spread. Now this is a more advanced option strategy where I do a sell and a buy at the same time. The sell is to generate the income, the cash flow. The buy is to protect, is to have some form of insurance for protection. So again, on the Apple, so what happened was, this is a weekly option. On 21st of June, I sold 20 contracts and collected a premium of $220. So I'm betting on the Apple share price closing higher than the contract price I entered. So I sold at 127, I bought at 126. So I'm betting that Apple will be bullish and will not drop below 127 or below 126. So, and true enough, on 25th of June at the weekly expiration, Apple share price closed at 133, which is higher than the 127 and 126. So what happens is, nothing happens to me. The 20 contracts of Apple expire worthless. So that means the premium of $220 that I collected 5 days ago becomes a cash flow that I can then use to reinvest and generate even more income, more premium, more cash flow in the coming weeks and coming months. So I hope, folks, that this has given you an idea how options, if you understand it, if you invest time and effort to understand it, to learn it, and to use the right risk management strategies, you can actually make it work for you, regardless of whether you're doing it on a full-time basis or on a part-time basis. Options can definitely work even for part-time if you're a part-time investor, so that you can actually create for yourself an additional income stream, cash flow for yourself to, to financially prove yourself. And how has options actually worked for me? So for 2020, this was my profit picture, just a little shy of 100K USD. Okay. Now, so of course, if I were to just, long story short, if I were to just average out what is my monthly cash inflow across the 2 years, so it worked out to be about 5,000 a month, or about roughly about 6,200 Sing dollars a month. So this is how options has actually worked for me. Now let me be very, very upfront and clear too. If this is something that excites you, well and good. But if you want to use this as, and if you're doing it on a part-time basis, and you need to be mindful that this is not something that you should expect to achieve overnight. Okay, I took about 4 years, and after a lot of trials and errors, and a lot of also making mistakes along the way. And but I think it is achievable for even for part-time investors. Eventually, you'll be good for, if you're doing a part-time, to start on a smaller footing, consistently have winning trades, and then build up your position, build up your experience, build up your confidence, and I'm confident that there will come a day where you are able to scale up, okay, because you have had all these consistent winnings. You have more winnings than losses, and then you are able to build up your cash position, and then you'll be in a good place to scale up your earnings capacity. And as I said, this Fed system has actually allowed me to have more wins than loss, to actually have more winning trades than loss. In fact, at various points in time, from all these options stress, I was able to acquire good quality stocks like your Bank of America, Intel, PayPal, Square, Twitter. But of course, today I've already sold off most of this for capital gains, because my approach these days is really to conserve cash, to be able to deploy cash to sell more options and to generate more what you call cash inflow. So that is my focus now. So as I mentioned, it took me 4 years and quite a steep learning curve, but I'm confident that if for anyone who is keen to learn and practice, and consistently practice and sharpen your skills, the 4 steps FATS process can actually help you to shorten your learning curve, and more importantly, to help you avoid expensive mistakes. Now, earlier on, Emin mentioned about the big mistake. Let me just contextualize it and share it with everyone. So because there was a point in time where I was consistently making, having winning trades, I was making and making and making, profiting. I became greedy, okay, and then I sold a naked call on, of all stocks, Tesla. Okay, so what happened was Tesla was, at that point in time, was about $400 a share. Let me just use one slide that I did in. Okay, so to make the picture complete now, somewhere in the October, late part of 2020. So Tesla was averaging about 400 plus here. So I got greedy. I sold a naked call on Tesla, quite a big contract some more. So the greed got the better of me. Suddenly, come one day, Tesla shot up to 1,000 and reached a high of 1,000 plus a share before it ended the night at 900 plus. And on that very same night, I got a margin call, which I have to buy X numbers of Tesla shares at 900 plus per share in order to sell it back to the market at 600 plus. So within that one night, I lost, as what Emin said, I lost 50,000 in one night. Ouch, it's damn painful. And I do not advocate any of my coaches, my mentees, to do this. So I feel that I believe strongly that no investor should actually have to suffer this fool's errand, and all because of greed, all because of uncontrolled greed. Okay, so that's why Emin is what Emin said earlier on is correct. Very important. Never do naked calls. Never sell naked calls. Selling naked put is a different story, because you are Okay, you'll learn in as part of the program that naked puts actually help you to generate not just the cash flow, but also allow you to be able to acquire the underlying share at a much more attractive price. If it is a good quality stock that you don't mind owning, it actually gives you the opportunity to own the stock at a much lower price rather than having to buy, say for example, Apple at 177. If the Apple drops to let's say 150, you can, instead of paying 177, you actually be able to own Apple shares at 150 as an example. So it took me 4 years, but for me to reach this level, but I'm happy to be here. This is a good place to be in. Why is that so? It's so, of course, like Emin, deciding to leave corporate is probably one of the best decisions. It was not an easy decision because there's a lot of adjustment I had to make along the way, but I'm glad it all worked out. Of course, haven't reached the level of making my first million yet, but definitely working towards getting there. So this was obviously before pandemic. I was able to, go on couple trip with my spouse, bring the family out to try different dining places, bring kids out for cafe hopping, and then trying new cuisines, which they like very much. And of course, indulge in my little kid princess here. Okay, so this what, of course, this is very aspirational. What I'm actually more concerned about is really being able to help students or mentees who are interested to consider using options to get into the right kind of footing, to gain the confidence for you to be able to use options to achieve your own financial objectives, whatever that may be, whether it's creating a secondary consistent income stream for yourself so that you can be more future ready for retirement or whatever. Okay, so with that, I hope it's given you folks a better understanding, and together with what Emin has shared on the options 101, I hope what I've shared is able to give you a better appreciation of what options can potentially do for you. And with that, I'll hand the stage back to you, Emin.
Thank you so much, Seong Yo. Okay, so for those who have questions, so you may want to just type into the chat right now. We want to have a Q&A session to address some of the points that you have. Now, so before we go there, I just want to share a few what we wish to put on the table here today. Especially for those who actually learned about option today for the first time. I'm quite sure after Seong Yo have explained, give an overview of options, okay, to a certain extent, it may still be very confusing. Okay, so you're definitely not alone. So by the way, if let's say, for example, if you were actually learn about options in a finance program, so number one, it's only available for tertiary programs, like for example, degree programs. And most of the time to learn about options, we are talking about either in year 3, year 4 of a degree program, or either that in a master's program. It's definitely not something whereby, after 1 or 2 days, you can be expert in. Okay, so this is what we have done, because we realized that there's actually a lot of people interested in options, and then they thought that they just can go through 1-2 day course, then they can really be expert and they make money from it. I would definitely don't think so. It's just like saying that you attend the first aid course, you can be a doctor. I'm quite sure you all know what's the difference here. So what me and Seong Yo did here is this: we have actually started the option investing group. Okay, so we have started a group, and of course we have done this since probably I believe it's coming 2 years already. Okay, coming 2 years already, and of course Seong Yo now have his group of mentees, whereby they actually meet up on a very regular basis, at least once per month, okay, to really invest in options together, discussing together, and they learn as a group together. So this is really what we wish to put on the table, especially for those who, okay, you may not think of course, I'm not encouraging everybody to leave their corporate. But I think it actually makes sense to learn the additional skill sets. And of course, you never know when you need. Like for example, whatever Xiong Yeo achieved, Xiong Yeo talk about that $6,000 per month, right? So think about it, it's about 8 to 10 hours per week to generate that $6,000 per month. Okay, so it's not that, oh, okay, you can see Xiong Yeo from the US market open 9 p.m. to 4, 9 p.m. to 4 and don't sleep. No, no. So in fact, to generate that 6,000 is probably only like 2 or 3 days. He doesn't trade every day, and probably just 2 hours. Okay, so that is the kind of time spent to generate that kind of income. So never know, you can do part-time and, you know, eventually it can be a full-time for you. So this is really what we want to offer on the table. Okay, now, of course, to be fair to everybody in the group, you cannot just come in, don't know anything. So this is what happened here. That is an initiation program for those who want to join the group. So we actually put you through a 2 months initiation program, so that when you come in, you roughly know what is happening. Okay, so in this 2 month initiation program, right, okay, there's a 1 day full training whereby you learn all the things in detail: options basics, FEDS process, options strategies, trading platform, hands-on, so on and so forth. So basically, you go through all the theoretical aspect, whereby, you know, you need to know as a base, as a fundamental for you to be a successful option investor. Now, in these 2 months or so, okay, there is a 2 months WhatsApp support group. So we understand that there's no way whereby after 1 day, wow, you know everything. You will have asked a lot of questions. And yes, within the next 2 months, you can ask any questions. And this is where I really respect Xiong Yeo. You can expect very detailed answer in quite a short period of time. Okay. And not only that, after the 2 months, you will get to sit down with Xiong Yeo. This is one-to-one, and really discuss, hey, what is the kind of strategy that suits you? What should be your COC, center of competence? How should you actually strategize? Should you actually just focus on lead calls, buy calls, or should you also be a put seller or call seller? So he will actually sit down with you one-to-one, discuss with you based on your character, what kind of risk profile, and after that, see what makes sense for you. And you get to attend 2 live trading sessions of Xiong Yeo's within these 2 months. So this is what we mean by initiation program. So really not just the theory, then it's customized to your needs, and we really bring you to the war zone. Okay. We want to be very clear here. So this one is not like a lecture, you know, whereby you have a lot of people know. So in fact, maximum, we are only going to have 12 person per run. That's it, full stop. Okay. So basically, once you enter this program, you're on first name basis. You all probably know each other by name. And you really get the hand holding by Xiong Yeo as per what we actually stated here. So why we actually want to do this? Because option trading is a professional skill set. Okay, so it's really not something whereby, you know, 1 day, 2 day, wow, you can learn it. No, it's a professional skill set. So we don't believe that just by sitting through lectures you can get it. So this is the reason why we want to go through that extent, to make sure that you can really be equipped before you really go and invest in options. So here are some examples of the WhatsApp support group. Again, like I said, this is how detailed Xiong Yeo can be. It's not just a one-liner, two-liner. He's actually going to give you very detailed answers, and even with charts, as you can see here. And the live trading, so again, this is something I must really respect him. Not easy. As we all know, okay, we can plan, but usually, you know, things can happen wrongly. And he's willing to actually show you right in front of your eyes, okay, how he actually go to war. So this is what's going to happen here. Okay, before the market open, he will share with you, okay, what stocks he's actually going to trade today and what's his trade plan. Is it to buy call, buy put, whatever. Then after that, once the market open, you see Seong Yeo execute the trade. And as in all things in life, you know, there's a lot of what if scenario lah. Then you see how he deals with it. I think this is what we call real learning lah. Not theory. So this one, when he do it, he's not using his play account. So you can actually set up a virtual account and real money account. He's actually going to demonstrate to you with his real money account. So money at stake. Okay. And like I said, it's not easy to, you know, put yourself at scrutiny to really show how people, how other people that you trade. So this is our dedication. We really want you to learn. We want you to be prepared before you go and do options yourself. So obviously that comes with fees, but then you can see that the fees are very reasonable. 1 day program, $500, WhatsApp support group for 2 months. You think about it, the kind of effort to answer almost, okay, I wouldn't say immediately, but definitely within 24 hours, okay, $80. One-to-one, you are actually going to get at least 1 full hour of Seong Yeo's time, one-to-one via Zoom. Okay, I think $200 is not too expensive. And the live trading sessions, okay, $200. Total for this package is just a shy of $1,000, $980. Okay, think about this. $980 to acquire a professional skill set that can potentially become your primary income. Okay, so I'm quite sure you all know, if you actually go through a degree program, go through some master's program, don't have 5 figure, no need to think. Now we're only talking about $980. Okay, or put it this way, you know, basically you are learning from someone who have gone through the full process, the full 4-year process. So what if we just save 6 months of your time in trial and error? Okay, just 6 months. Okay, or either that someone to nag at you, don't do naked call to prevent you from making mistakes like what Seong Yeo did, lost 50,000. 980 to prevent the kind of loss, to save the kind of time. Okay, do you think it's worth it or not? Okay, and of course, after that 2 months, we definitely hope that you can continue with the group. And, you know, to continue, the group K is actually charged on 6-month basis. You still are in the WhatsApp group and you attend the live trading once per month. And we are only talking about $40 per month. Think about it, $40 per month. Okay, after initiation program, you have the WhatsApp group, you have the live trading session, just $40 per month. Okay, so I hope you can sense what we are really trying to do. Down here, you think about it, it's definitely not really making money already. So yes, of course, Seong Yeo will actually make money out front, but after that, it's really just a gathering among friends, learn together, share together, and it's just a very nominal fee for a very long time membership. Okay, some feedbacks from the past participants inspired confidence in me that it's possible with due diligence to earn a secondary stream of income. Then trading option which may one day even surpass your primary income. Okay, Seong Yeo is a very patient and dedicated teacher, spare no effort to impart his knowledge. And of course, if you want to learn from the best, choose Seong Yeo. I highly recommend it. So these are some of the feedbacks. And yes, we know that this is still the what do you call it? This is actually still the COVID period, and some people really need to have alternatives of income. So now, online we have a promotion. $100 off. We're actually going to charge $880 instead of $980. And to thank you for joining us this evening, we are actually going to give you an additional $200 preview discount. Okay, but of course, this is not for everybody. This is for either first 5 signups, first 5 person who sign up, or for those who registered by today. Okay, so what it means here is if let's say, for example, today got 10% sign up today, so yes, they all get 200. But if let's say today only got 3 sign up, tomorrow got 2, okay, they still get the 200 discount. So that is what we are actually going to offer. Oh, so like I said, we are not expecting a lot of people, only 12. And for 5%, we will just start the class already. Okay, so this is what is on the table. And of course, hopefully for those who are really keen, join the investment group. I think that is the best way to learn. Rather go to 1-2 day course. Don't know what happened. Okay, so already we are there to commit to you. This is a group. This is a long-term group. After the course, you're still going to meet Xiong Yo once a month. You can WhatsApp him anytime. And, you know, it's a program whereby you all go and stay each other, make friends together for a long period to come. Okay. These are the dates for the 1-day core program. So this one, no makeup, must attend 30th April. So please attend for this. This is going to be a full day program. Okay, you actually go through the module. After this, your 2 months WhatsApp support group will start. Okay, of course, the one-to-one strategy discussion is arranged individually. Now, for the live trading sessions, the dates are fixed already. Okay, you didn't see wrongly, it's 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. because for options, we are only looking at the US market. US market, Singapore options market, unfortunately, is not developed in relation to the US market. So 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., you didn't see wrongly. And 23rd May, 21st June. Okay, so for this one, if you can't make it, yes, you still can do the makeup for subsequent ones. So these are the dates for the program. Okay. And like I said, 12 packs per run. I must say that I already have some signups. If we have this situation of more than 12, okay, we are very strict on that. But of course, we are not going to turn people away. We will just start another new course. But okay, only maximum 12 per run. Okay, so do check out the registration website. We have all the details that I have mentioned. So you can scan the QR code to go to the website. All the details are there. And like I said, if you register today or either that you're the first 5 to register, once you just have to key in this coupon code. Okay, you may want to take this down, K8E6YSA5. You will get that $200 discount. Okay. Now, so that is all that I have. That's all that I have. Yes, there are some questions coming up already. So before we go there, of course, for those who have questions, please key in. I'll just let you listen to one of our previous participants and let's see what he had to say about this program.
The initial thought of trading options was scary. I was a newbie looking for a way to start. The task feels daunting. I did not know where to begin and what to be mindful of. Hi, my name is Wee Kiang. Earlier this year, I attended the Trading Options for Wealth Accumulation course conducted by Xiong Yo. When I was researching for a similar course to attend, there are loads of commentators that talk a good game. I was, however, fortunate to have met Xiong Yo, whom I found to be knowledgeable and walks the talk. For a fraction of the price tag quoted by others in the market, he has enabled us, coached us, and given me confidence to embark on the journey, especially the very important first step. He is patient, and his logical method of coaching connects to the participants in the group. Up till now, I continue to have monthly meetings hosted by Xiong Yo, who generously shares his idea and experience. The course was both practical and challenging, but Xiong Yo's extra step of being involved even after the course has been invaluable in my journey so far. I cannot speak highly enough of the course and the trainer.
Okay, so that's weekend, of course, when you actually do